Hi. This is a very impromptu stream, mostly just because I just got back from the shop. I went to do some grocery shopping, get some stuff, and I thought, hey, let's wander down the toilet paper aisle to see if what people are saying on social media is true. And it's true. Everyone's lost their fucking minds. Like, oh, my particular shopping precinct has Aldi, Coles, and Woolworths. And I went to all of them, and they're all stripped bare of toilet paper, right? And people have lost their fucking minds. I was talking to one of the checkout chicks there. Remember, always feel sorry for people who work in retail because, like, shout out if you work in fucking retail right now because everyone has gone crackers. They lost the plot. There's what the fuck, people, right? It is the funniest thing. And so I just went there and there was hardly anyone there. So what was actually interesting to point out is that basically going to the shop at a time like this helps you to determine who spends way too much time on Facebook for a start, right? Second of all, who is fucking dumb, right? And you know what? Before I start, I'm going to give a disclaimer, which is that if I happen to be like dead and like running out of toilet paper, feel free to try and sell that shit to me for like $300 a roll because I'm just finding this funny, okay? Because you're all fucking nuts. There's no problem. And if anything, I think maybe it's my career in marketing that makes me just naturally cynical about these types of social contagions and fucking mass delusions and panic buys. But this is something very much inherited from America. Like it's actually okay. I'm not going to make it boring, like I always tend to do. But at the same time, like these types of things are a phenomenon that really have gripped us since social media, but very much an American thing. This whole crazy fucking psychotic buying really is it's not a you're all bonkers basically. Anyway, so I went to the shop and it was funny because not only were there it was quiet, it was a lot quieter than usual, but there were families there. And I live in a community where, there's a lot of, there's a Vietnamese grocer, there's a Koreans, Chinese. I went to the bakery that I like to go to frequently and we were having a laugh. And I believe she's actually Chinese, I believe. I haven't asked, but she's just like, everyone's lost their minds. They've gone bonkers. And it's funny because when you're on the ground and you're in the shop and you see people, but there's people who don't give a fuck. So there's people who, like me, who are just there to buy some fucking whatever. I needed cheese. I'm going to be useless in the apocalypse because not only am I going to have only cheese to live on, I'm going to be so constipated from the cheese. Actually, that solves the toilet paper problem, really, doesn't it? Okay, too much information. Anyway, I don't know what my point is. But anyway, so for those that don't know, everyone's lost their fucking minds and they're buying out all the toilet paper and hand sanitizer. And I'm sitting there going, hang on a minute, who doesn't actually already wash their hands for a start? Second of all, who doesn't already have a good supply of toilet paper? Or what's happening is more likely that people are just fucking going, I'll buy one extra just in case. And yeah. But anyway, I want to talk about marketing. And I truly believe that this is I don't know, I'm just too cynical for this shit. I'm too cynical, which is that suddenly the Prime Minister and Coles and Woolworths are meeting what the fuck? Do you know what you do in a situation like this where everyone's been told to not go into a shop? Right? You try to figure out a way to get them to go to the shop. So I have a feeling that Coles and Woolies are actually fucking stockpiling somewhere because more people will inevitably be doing online shopping as part of this, right? It's actually quite interesting. So more people will do online shopping as part of this, which means they're probably stockpiling more in warehouses and there's probably just a temporary fucking supply problem and a supply shock. We still make like 40%. What I found funny, actually, it was really, really interesting. I know this is a meandering fucking, it's not planned. I found it so funny coming back from the shop, just running my errands, that I just needed to get something on the record at how fucking, like, how funny people are. Right? And I know that most of you are probably like, oh, well, you know, you never know, just in case. But how fragile the fabric of society is. And I just find it's funny. Anyway, I needed vape juice. So what I thought, this one appealed to me for some reason. It's apocalypse flavour. But why not? So I was talking to the chick at the vape juice, the deli place where I buy my juice. And and she's basically going, it's like, I looked up, because people who work in retail, it's actually quite funny. They're forced to be there, right? So they're sitting there with giant canisters of hand sanitizer, right? And this chick first of all, the chick at Woolworths was funny because she's like, I've just come back from 3 weeks holiday and everyone's lost the plot. So just spare a thought for this poor girl, right? It's fucking hilarious. But basically, they do their research. So, you know, most people, I know people who are in emergency departments and various people, you know, lots of different people, right? From different walks of life, people who work in retail. And for everybody, right, it's 50-50, right? So I can't actually ascertain real threats. So all I can do is, like, you know, rely on credible sources, because it's the only, and again, that whole credible source thing, when we're looking at propaganda, especially around things that tend to cause panic, you know, obviously there's a healthy level of skepticism that people need to have towards what the government's saying. But at the same time, calm the fuck down, all right? And I talked to this old lady at the shops, right, which was so funny, and it was basically like, because we don't need toilet paper because I've got fucking teenage boys, right? I have a mass stock of toilet paper. Also, look, I have Trump, as a backup, I have Trump toilet paper. I bought these a year ago as a joke. I just saw them on Catch or somewhere like that. I bought them. Funny, right? So now, if it's the end of the world and I'm going to shit myself to death, at least it will be using Trump toilet paper. Fucking hell, people are dickheads, you know, like, you know what, I truly believe people are just fucking wired, they're just spending way too much time fucking watching doomsday shit. And yes, I know preparedness, but who wants to live in that fucking stupid, who wants to live in that world anyway, right? Fuck it, okay, just relax. Idiots. And again, I'm happy to be wrong, but I also don't care if I die. So, you know, that's the balance. Okay? So anyway, let's just talk about... So anyway, let's wander off. This, again, no plan. Just a quick fucking observation at my local shops. So Aldi, completely out of toilet paper. Woolworths, completely out of toilet paper. Coles, completely out of toilet paper. I saw several people with trolleys full of, like, tissues, right? So I think, like most of us, if you run out of toilet paper, it's always good to have tissues as a backup, right? And paper towel as well. It seems to be a thing that people fucking buy. Oh, God. And also, you know, like, I just find it odd because okay, let's just work through this because, you know, the worst, in terms of supplies, right? People clearly don't know how to fucking live. Because toilet paper, whilst one thing that you'll find sort of in a situation like that is that there's multiple alternatives, right? You should be more worried about food, more worried about, you know, like the non-perishable goods are all over the place, right? They're fully stocked shelves. But the thing that I find funny is the fact that people have just suddenly flipped out over fucking toilet paper. Of one thing, right? It's one product. And that makes me wonder, and maybe it's just my marketer brain, getting back to my original point, which is that, you know, how would you get people out of their houses into your supermarkets? Let's just hold off. Let's just empty the shelves for a day and see what happens and create a little bit of a knock-on effect, right? This is the state of mind that I find myself in. And I hate that I'm this cynical and this skeptical because it's probably going to kill me. Right? But at the same time, I sit there and I go, it's fucking marketing. You know, if I was advising Coles and Woolworths and I was their agency and on retainer and I was trying to shift certain, you know, have a, a movement, so to speak, I'd get on the phone and I would say, hey, you know what? Let's put let's just feed some disinformation to a few idiots and let's make it look like the shelves are half empty with certain key items. That will get people to come in and get it. That will drive demand, and then everyone will lose their fucking minds and lose the plot. And that's it. Can't. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's more plausible. Okay, that is more plausible. It's more likely to be true than the nonsense that fucking, you know. And again, there's no harm in being. It's good self-care to make sure that you've got supplies and things like that. But at the same time, I was sitting there and I just wanted to get my almond milk, and I just wanted to get because my almond milk is UHT. So I sat there and the UHT milk is completely fucking cleared as well. It's like, it's actually an interesting insight into people's priorities, you know, which is, you know, if I was trying to survive, like UHT milk, like my latte is not really the most, it's like whatever. Anyway, I don't understand people. We've established that I don't understand people, but I do understand how fucking marketing works, and I do understand how systems work, and I do understand people when they lose their fucking minds and lose the plot, and you've all lost the plot. And again, feel free to sell me toilet paper for fucking a premium if I run out, but at the same time, get a washable fucking cloth, you idiots. Like, you stock up on bleach and you just bleach and cloth and rags. That negates the need for everything else for a very long time. Concentrated domestos fucking bleach. And, like, that's not hard, people. And maybe it's because my grandmother raised me and she taught me how to do the basic sort of housekeeping shit, right? Where I sit there and I go, I could survive at a basic level because I know how to do hand washing and I can do the basics. I can cook the basics. I know how to, rehydrate beans. You know, like this isn't hard. Anyway, it's just funny that it's toilet paper and shit. Anyway. I've talked too long. It's only been 15 minutes. I just wanted to say that I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy my apocalypse flavoured vape juice, which, for those that are wondering, we import the nicotine because you can't sell nicotine vape juice in Australia. So you have to but you can buy the non-nicotine stuff. So I buy the nicotine and then I buy this and then I add the nicotine to it. So then it makes it nice and easy. But anyway, alchemy. That's my priority. I went out. Everyone else is losing their minds over toilet paper. And I'm sitting there going, oh, fuck. I'm going to make sure we need this shit. Because that's the thing that's going to fucking make me go nuts. Anyway. Hi, everyone. Oh, there's people chatting. Oh, my God. Okay, so I got some comments. So, almond milk. So Neo says, almond milk, you're too good for a cow. How the fuck do you milk an almond anyways? It's not. It's just blended almonds. And also I get sick guts from dairy. So, and also it's lower carb. And I have a lot of very complicated health problems. So that's why. Thank you for saying I'm entertaining. And yes, people are dickheads. I think we've summed it up. But yes, it's actually very funny when you go, if you want to get some entertainment and you're healthy and not contagious and all those sorts of things, obviously, if you're not, if you're a normal fucking person in good health, go to the shops and see what's happening. But do support your local business, like my local bakery, because she's sitting there she's just bewildered at people because she's been sitting there all day. She makes cakes and donuts and all that sort of stuff. And she's and people are just driving past with trolleys full of tissues. And it's just funny because it's like, it's odd. It's just odd that you think that maybe, okay, here's an idea. This is another idea, which is maybe that it's actually like it's like someone's on top of this whole, like the baby formula thing where Australian supplied baby formula is going to be like it's something that you can import to China and sell it like with a markup. That's not outside of the question either. I don't know how this works. But again, that's the more likely scenario, is that fucking capitalism's gonna fucking win. It's got nothing to do with anything. Anyway. There's a Neo said, my chats aren't coming up on here for some reason. Why aren't they showing? Whatever. I don't know, whatever. So Neo said that almonds have no nipples to milk, and that is a very good point. So anyway, there we go. Okay, I fucked up. Okay, anyway. So so there's someone from Canada people here. Are they all clearing the shelves? Like, I thought this was see, again, I study culture and digital culture and all of that, and sort of the psychology of interaction and all that sort of social contagion. It all kind of bleeds into what I do, right? And so I find this fascinating just from a social psych point of view, in the fact that I haven't really seen a lot of this in Australia pre-social media. 9/11 has done that, and terrorist attacks generally do this, but we have not. Like, America loses like the Black Friday stuff. Like, that's something where that Americans are very good at getting whipped up into fucking like panic mode. But what I'm seeing with social media is that this seems to be happening a lot more here. And if anything, there's got to be a link, because I have noticed that obviously American culture is starting to dominate, and American mindset and American thinking, American parenting styles, oh my God, are starting to sort of infiltrate Australian culture. But this seems to be a very weird... I appreciate the nipple almond comment, Neo. That's fine. It was just it is a very perplexing question, but, you know. But I suppose that I could make a walnut milk joke, but it might be a little bit too, because you can milk a walnut, because a prostate is like a walnut, and if you milk the prostate, then that's walnut milk. And there's that why they don't bother making walnut milk, because there's just too many jokes. But anyway, why did I say that? And this is just me riffing. Okay. Anyway, but yes, it seems to be like, oh my God, the contagion that I remember over Tickle Me Elmo. Remember when everyone lost their minds over Elmo and Furbies and that sort of stuff? Like, that was something where I think I was a teenager, and I remember seeing that going, Americans are mental. Americans are totally they're just weaponized professional consumers who can be whipped into fucking any kind of weird retail frenzy at will, right? By any kind of campaign. But now we're seeing it in Australia, and I find that very weird. And that's, but again, just because of all of the disinformation, again, 50% of the people that I ask say, fucking, it's an overreaction. 50% say, well, we're concerned. 40%, sorry, because the other 10% are like me, who just sit there and go, I don't fucking know. I'm not that invested in survival. I'm really not, right? And it's just like, I don't want to live in a world where people are fucking shot for toilet paper. Who wants to live in that kind of world? I don't. So, like, I have very healthy perspective on the whole thing, and I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck, you all lost your mind. But anyway, the old lady sat there and she was like, I was telling you about the old lady in the toilet paper aisle, and she was basically like, well, I'm going to go get all the ice cream if the world's ending, and she just fucking went and got 8 boxes of drumsticks. And I was like, that's what you do. Why are people, if the world's ending, why toilet paper? Why not all the fucking junk food and all the potato chips and all the fucking, if the world is ending and we're all going to die and we're all going to shit ourselves to death, let's just play Xbox and fucking eat chips. I don't get it. And this is my autism showing. Sometimes there's just gaps where I understand people on an intellectual level, but I don't understand this because the facts there's no evidence to indicate that anything, you guys watch way too much TV and you've got way too much time on social media, and don't be fucking, look, always be skeptical that you're being sold something. Who benefits from this? Coles and Woolworths both conveniently run out of toilet paper at the same time. Yeah, fuck off they do. Okay? Come on. All right. Anyway. That's been 22 minutes of me just talking shit. I'm going to go fill up my apocalypse vape juice. I don't even know what the flavour is because I just went, ordinarily I go somewhere else, but this was local and I ran out. So I was just like, oh, well, what have you got? And then I went, that seems fitting that I'll choose apocalypse juice. And the chick at the counter was just like, people are fucking bonkers. They've lost their minds. They've absolutely lost they're off their tree. It's funny. And I feel, again, I'm not laughing at the actual, like, victims of the virus. I'm not laughing, again, disclaimer, I'm not laughing at that. But at the same time, God, you people are fucking idiots. And God, you're funny. Can we just take a moment to laugh at how people are funny? Ugh. I love people. You just fucking entertain me. Like George Carlin, I'm a people watcher, man. I enjoy just fucking observing the craziness that we find ourselves in. And then a week from now, everyone will just forget, right? And they'll go, oh, remember that time when everyone lost their fucking minds and went and bought all the toilet paper, and everything will go back to normal. Okay? Well, Dustin raises a very good point, which is that it's probably overblown, but how will you know when it's real? And my point is that when it is real, we're fucked, okay? And yes, I know that it might give you the illusion of some control, but at the same time, like, what unless you've got a fucking bunker, okay, and weapons and ammo, and you're a full-on prepper, right? You got no fucking chance. What do you think's going to happen? I go and buy, like, Honey Boo Boo, like, Mama June's going to be fine, right? Because they, like, stockpiling that stuff. But what's going to happen? If your house isn't secure, people are just going to fucking riot and loot. Like, this is the thing. Society will break down, right? If it is real, everything will you can't control this. So just surrender to fate. Have a good time. Love your kids. Play Xbox, it's all good, okay? Again, you might feel differently. I'm just not that attached to living. And I know that sounds very nihilistic. I love life. I love my time on this planet. But at the same time, I've never seen the appeal of these apocalyptic fucking movies. I don't understand why people want to just survive that much. Like, why? Again, that's me. I'm probably a little too, like, disconnected from fucking people. But again, it's not in a way that I would want anyone to cause harm or that I want to cause harm to myself. I obviously don't want it to happen, but at the same time, I've never understood that. I don't have that chip that tells you you must survive at all costs. Maybe it's because I've nearly died like a few times. I realise that I'm not afraid of death. Maybe that's what it is. But anyway. And that's fine. You can't control. Again, this just links back to us wanting to control things that are outside of our control. But we're also being manipulated by people who have a very vested interest in manipulating us. So I prefer to just keep a healthy skepticism, and and I guarantee you I'll be one of the first to go, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm going to go. Good talking to you. I talk shit. I love you. Thank you for your precious life seconds. All of that stuff. And sign off. Website. Bye. And if this happens to be, the funny thing is that if this happens to be a video where I then now die from coronavirus, let this be my legacy, because it would definitely be my legacy, that I would talk shit and that I'm wrong and that this is exactly how the world fucking is. Yeah. I'm definitely going to die of coronavirus now because this video's out there and I'm sitting there mocking it, right? That's just how my life is. Anyway, Yeah. Well, that no. Like I said, I've been in intensive care. I have been very unwell. I have suffered. I've suffered enough, and I've lived through enough. I'm at an age. I'm 41. I'm at an age where every year's a bonus. It really is. And the only thing that would really make me sort of really kick in is that my mama bear instinct with my kids. Obviously, I would like to keep them safe. And I'm obviously being glib, right? And I'm being funny, but at the same time, um, having a sense of proportion about it, right? And again, I've got kids, so the only reason that I'm really sticking around is for them anyway. So I got nothing to do. My dreams are dead. They still have hope. I don't. I'm just on the fucking train to nihilist, like, Comedyville. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, I just laugh at everything. Anyway, be safe and do wash your fucking hands, wipe your ass, wash your hands and all those things that you should be doing anyway. And don't do giant goobers on people and you'll be fine. All right, I love you. Have a good day. Bye.